Are you going out to make a cup of tea? Well, look, hang on for a second and just try this with the milk and the £20 note. Roll it into a little tube, seal up the end. And with your tea time milk, just pour a trickle into the note. Then comes the tricky bit. Unroll the note and try to keep things dry. Roll up the note, tie up the bottom, and now put it into the tea. 1 lump or 2, Vicar.
St Matthew's Church, Northampton is BBC One's destination now for some seasonal reflections. A surprise of regal magnitude is in store for Gregory Peck here on BBC2 in the first film of our season of Audrey Hepburn movies, Roman Holiday. And the Hepburn season continues tomorrow morning on BBC2 when life becomes very complicated with the murder of a young woman's estranged husband. Cary Grant joins in the Charade at 11.
He's the rich MD, she's the poor cleaner. But when his company's sabotaged, she's the one who finds the clues, but he finds clues about his wife's leisure time. So, what is it you have to do to get your own back? The British network premiere of the French social comedy Romauld and Juliette. New Year's Day, 9:35 on BBC2.
Now on BBC2, a romance recently rediscovered in the film Sleepless in Seattle. Deborah Kerr and Cary Grant head for the road of snatched kisses, secret meetings and deceit. But it'll be an affair to remember.
The frustration of love.
Last time I was inside a woman's when I visited the Statue of Liberty.
You're gonna hold on to me with threats, right? Stupid threats and slander. This is your idea of love, right?
I will not be tossed out.
Does the good guy get the girl? Do the bad guys get their just desserts?
This is murder. You paid for it, I engineered it, and it's over, all right? So forget about it.
A comic tragedy of manners and morals. Mia Farrow, Woody Allen in Crimes and Misdemeanours tonight at 9:05 on BBC2.
Mr. Blobby is just the latest in a string of Yuletide hit records that have had us either rocking or writhing. We pick out the best and the worst of the Reindeer rock in an hour on BBC2. First, around the world, the watery way, with Julian Pettifer.
This is the Hamble Estuary, a favourite spot for sailing enthusiasts. Here on October the 18th, 1970, an ex-paratrooper named Che Blythe attempted to make history when he left the Royal Southern Yacht Club in an attempt to circumnavigate the globe non-stop and alone on the yacht British Steel. He chose to do it the hard way, sailing east to west against prevailing winds and currents, retracing the route taken by Drake and Magellan and by the father of single-handed ocean sailing, Joshua Slocum. 292 days later, a triumphant Che Blythe sailed back up the estuary. He'd achieved something extraordinary and captured Britain's imagination. The ecstatic welcome he received was led by the Prince of Wales and the Duke of Edinburgh, Princess Anne, and the Prime Minister Edward Heath. In the Times, his feat was called the most outstanding passage ever made by one man alone. But for Che, it wasn't enough. It was to be just one of a string of ever more daunting challenges that he set himself. So after 16 years of adventuring, he decided to help others to achieve what he'd achieved. He appealed for volunteers, men and women between the ages of 21 and 60, to race around the world following the same route he'd taken when he set out from here in 1970.
people we're looking for is really those people who want a challenge, who want to do something really exciting in their life. They want to take up the gauntlet. That's the first thing. And it doesn't have to have, or they don't have to have, sailing experience, really. We'll teach them what they've got to know.
Having thrown down the gauntlet, Che Blythe was astounded at the number that took it up. Over 1,000 men and women responded to the challenge. Most were going to be disappointed. Che was looking for just 12 crew members for each of the 10 yachts, plus, of course, 10 professional skippers, whose experience of sailing the oceans of the world would be crucial if these raw volunteers were ever to realize their dreams. Very expensive dreams, too. Each success